Welcome to Hawk Stadium here in Fisher, Texas. Brant Freeman alongside Geff Gandy. And Geff, you saw these Hawks battle Wimberley tooth and nail a couple of weeks ago for 4 quarters, and that was an impressive showing in defeat a couple of weeks ago, but even more impressive last week with the Hawks coming from behind to beat the Badgers.
Absolutely. You know, they basically live and die by being able to run the football on the ground. Coach Drum, that's what he calls the pound and ground type of mentality on the football field. You know, but tonight we have Tanner Ferris coming back in the starting tailback position. I think that may give him a little bit of a boost of confidence, because last year he was the #1 rusher for this team.
And again, for Canyon Lake, the Hawks come in 3-2, while the Eagles are limping in at 1-3. It's the Hawks and the Eagles, a proverbial battle of the birds, and it's coming up next on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more, because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
At Frost, we have the top-rated app in the banking category. Yet it's the half star that's missing that has our attention. So we're always pushing, tweaking, and updating, because even a little half star will keep us up at night.
And welcome back to Hawk Stadium, about ready for kickoff here for the final non-district game of the 2017 season. Brant Freeman with Geff Gandy. Right now the team captains coming out to meet at midfield. And Geff, again, you saw this Canyon Lake team a couple of weeks ago take on a very good Wimberley football team. Came up just short. A tough loss then, yes, Geff, at the time. But I wonder what kind of lessons were learned by Canyon Lake in defeat.
You know, you want to say that maybe that'll come out later in the season, how you have to really kind of fight from behind, because they were most of the game behind. And they played a very good team in Wimberley who could throw the football all over the field. And they did a nice job of making adjustments from halftime in the 3rd and 4th quarter. So I think they can learn a lot of lessons, not only from the defensive side of how to maybe defend that type of offense that they'll see in the future, but also offensively, they made some adjustments and did some things that they characteristically probably wouldn't do, and they did very well. And I think all the players matured going through that game. And fortunately, it was a non-district game. This is just another game to help get them prepared for district starting next week.
And by the way, we see that Akins will get the football first to start tonight's game. And Geff, we did see Canyon Lake respond well after the loss, again bouncing back last week despite falling behind early 21-7 early second quarter on the road against Lampasas. The Hawks responded and wound up winning the game 35-21.
Right.
Now tonight it's about taking that momentum into the game this evening and into 14-4A play next week.
You know, it's important when you want to run the football, Brent, you want to get on top quick. And that's the key to that. If you get behind in the scoreboard, it sometimes is tougher when you want to run the football 3 times compared to passing it 1 time to make up that difference. And so sometimes they get themselves, and it takes a little bit longer to get the flow of the game, and they make some adjustments. Not to say that Canyon Lake can't throw the football, because they can. They have versatile players that they can distribute the football to. But they just would rather run the football because they can control the game that way.
And by the way, this game a year ago won by Canyon Lake in Austin 42-20. In that game, the Hawks ran all over the Eagles, 469 yards in that game, on their way to a 42-20 victory. Very similar start of the season this year as it was through 5 games a year ago. Canyon Lake's record identical, 3-2 after 5 games, as they were in 2016, and in the same pattern as well. The Hawks won their first 2 games, dropped the next 2, and then won the next 5 in a row to include a win over these Eagles. And here is the kickoff. We are underway. Off the foot of Trenton Loretz. And kicks that ball out of bounds. And so the Eagles will have good position here to start tonight's game.
Well, you have probably your best offensive player in the back trying to receive that kickoff, and that's Malcolm Rogers. I would rather him just not touch the football, honestly, because he's that kind of player.
Well, I got bad news for you, Geff. Odds are he's going to touch the football quite often tonight. Rogers, the senior tailback, so far in the season, he's averaging more than 100 yards per game. And the last time the Eagles took the field against Austin McCallum 2 weeks ago, he touched the ball 7 times and wound up with 118 yards. Touchdowns, 58 and 51 yards respectively. And here's the quarterback, the junior first-year starter, Nick Cagle, and the Eagles offense from its own 30-yard line. A spread look for the Akins offense. And the first play is a run to Rogers. Trying to slice it outside, and he's denied. Canyon Lake's defense swarms and forces him out of bounds for a loss. Leading the charge there for Canyon Lake, Ross Snowden. A loss all the way back to the 25-yard line, 2nd down and 15.
Nice start to the game on the defensive side. Swarming defense on the left side, coming to hit Rogers in the backfield for a nice 5-yard loss.
Snowden had a sack in last week's win over the Badgers for Canyon Lake. 2nd and 15. And Cagle wants to throw. He's got protection, dumps it over the middle, and it's incomplete. A wide open receiver, the dangerous Jeremiah Brown, could not hold on. Defended well out there in space by Parker Reno, and now 3rd and long coming up for the Akins offense.
Well, you know they're going to have to try to throw the football, so you could probably see the Hawks dial up something on defense like a Mike linebacker blitz or double barrel blitz, something to put pressure on Cagle.
And Geff would know. He played linebacker at the highest level. Division I college football player, Baylor later in the NFL for Washington. Snap is back on 3rd and 15. Cagle goes middle for Brown, the catch at the sticks, and he's got the first down to the 41-yard line.
That was a good-looking passing catch at that time. It was a dig route to Brown. The dig route is about 12 yards and then cut straight across the formation in the middle of the field. And that time, Cagle had plenty of time to wait for the cut. He delivered a nice pass.
Brown has had some monster games this season, and that a 16-yard catch on 3rd and 15. A running play and first down, and a big one at that. Near midfield and down to the Canyon Lake 49-yard line. That's the first down carry for E.J. Hernandez.
But just when you thought that you had had this Eagle team figured out on the first drive, hey, they're going to hit you with the pass, and now they hit you with a sweep to the split receiver. That means you got to play sound defense, stay at home, don't go over pursuing, and play and know what you're supposed to do.
That was just the 5th carry of the year for Hernandez. And now first down for the Canyon Lake 49. Here is Rogers picking his way through Hawk defenders and dropped that around the 45-yard line for 4 yards.
That's not a fancy play. It's an easy play. You're just letting the slot man, which is time to have Rogers in the slot, handing him the football, and he's just trailing a blocker around the end. It's pretty simple. The defense has got to get out there.
Geff and I talked about it leading up to kickoff. This is a very good offensive team with 3 big threats: the quarterback Cagle, in the backfield Rogers, and Brant at receiver. And now 2nd down and 5 from the Canyon Lake 45-yard line. Cagle calling his own number. And not a wise decision. How about C.J. Parrish right there? The senior defensive tackle making the play for no gain. And now another big 3rd down coming up.
Well, you go wide, 3 straight plays, and you figured that the Cagle could fake it and then keep it up the middle, but Parrish was right there. Good job by the senior.
Now we saw the Eagles convert on 3rd and 15 earlier in the drive. This is 3rd down and 6. And Cagle is a thrower. Setting up deep in the shotgun in 3rd and 6. A little option play here. Cagle on the rollout. Chased. Running now to first down. In pursuit on the backside there for the Hawks was Michael Harwell. Could not track him down. And this Akins drive will continue.
Well, one of my notes, pre-call notes before the start of the game, Brant, was what did the Hawks defense needs to do? Well, need to be sound in the secondary. Well, they're doing that, but then Cagle's just tucking the ball and run.
And now first down to the Canyon Lake 38-yard line. We are about 3 minutes into the game. No score, but the Eagles are threatening here. Here is Brown on the run. Not a lot of room there, and turns out a couple to bring up 2nd down and 8. Brown can be a runner. In fact, 2 weeks ago against McCallum, 95 yards rushing in what was a 34-21 loss to the Knights.
That's a slow developing play, too. It works when you get the right blockers out there and that you have a mismatch of numbers of blockers to defenders. It works well, but it's so slow developing that time the defense had time to react.
You want to find that cutback lane a lot sooner if you're
You do.
Brown. They're going to say no gain, 2nd and 10. And Cagle will throw. Well, he's got tremendous protection, and he will step up and runs for another first down. Sam Shepard finally got through that Akins offensive line, but couldn't quite track down Cagle and shows off his legs for the second time in this offensive drive.
Well, it's interesting that he does have one touchdown, 2 touchdowns by himself, and he's not a real runner. He doesn't really want to run the football, but he can scramble. That time, the defensive front four got pressure, but Cagle did a nice job just moving his feet and seeing a crease and going upfield.
He is impressed in his first year as a starter for head coach Humberto Garza. In fact, in his first start, led the Eagles to a win and threw 3 touchdown passes. First half of the 28, and that time the Hawks converge on Cagle. There's about 4 different Hawk players right there on defense, Shepard among them. And now second down and 11.
Well, they go wide right or wide left, try to pass, and now we're going to try to fake it and let the quarterback come up in the middle. That's twice it hasn't worked. Good job by the defensive front four.
The matchup we're watching right now here on the near side of the field is Kamen McDonough at cornerback defending against Jeremiah Brown. From the 30 on second down and long. Cagle looking to throw. Boys, offensive line has been great tonight. Now hit as he throws, and the pass sails incomplete at the 30-yard line, looking for Antonio Lopez. And here we are again, Geff, broken record, right? Third down and long coming up.
Well, Snowden had a chance at that ball, too. That could have been picked off. Cagle's lucky at that time because the safety was coming in hot on the receiver.
Can the Hawks get a stop here in third down? So far on the drive, the Eagles are 2 for 2. They converted on 3rd and 15 and 3rd and 6. And this, third down and 11. And receivers here are stacked on the near side of the field. Hawks showing a blitz. They're going to bring it. Cagle. Again, good protection. Rolls out and runs. First down yardage and more inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line where he's brought down by Snowden. And another third down conversion for Akins.
Well, I mean, the secondary did a nice job picking up man-to-man on that triple slide out here to the near side of the field. But, again, Cagle, is senior. He's got game experience. And even though they've had 3 losses, you can see how confident he is in what they're trying to do here tonight. He just picks up and takes it down the field. The
head of the snake for this Eagles offense, which a year ago averaged only 18 points per game so far this season at around 30. And now inside the red zone at the Canyon Lake 13, it is a run to Rogers trying to find a lane and spins his way to the 11-yard line for 2. Second down and 8.
Rogers maybe had an opportunity that time, but the defense did a nice job. It was linebacker 33, Michael Harwell, came up nicely that time to fill the gap. Good job by the middle linebacker.
We've seen the Hawks win first down. We've seen them win second, but they have not won third yet tonight. A lot of time, by the way, used by the Eagles on this drive, nearly half of the entire first quarter. And now from the 11. On second down, Cagle looking to throw. In the flat, he's got Rogers turning it upfield, diving for the end zone for the Eagle touchdown.
Well, that's just a simple, when Rogers was lined up in the backfield, he went and made a little bit of what you call a little out route, and number 6, Stafford, the linebacker, had him run on one-on-one. He just couldn't get out there in time. It's just a good-looking and well-executed play.
An impressive 70-yard drive to open the game by Akins, and now out for the PAT is Duve Ruvalcaba, who was 12 of 13 kicking PATs this year. Looked fairly reliable in the warm-ups prior to the game, and this extra point is good. And the Eagles have struck first. 6:08 to go. Opening quarter. Akins 7, Canyon Lake nothing. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
6:08 to go in the first quarter, and Akins is on top 7-0. A 70-yard drive to kick off the game. drive ending with a touchdown pass from Nick Cagle to Malcolm Rogers. And Geff, you know this better than anybody, that football is a game of adjustments. The Hawks are going to have to make theirs on defense.
They may have to make an adjustment and have a spy on Cagle because he's acting more like a running back than a quarterback.
And here is Lorette back to return the kickoff from inside his zone 10 and lasso down to the 15-yard line. Good play made by Rowan Sterling. Now the Hawks have a long way to go to tie this game up, but we see the offense out of the field for the first time tonight, led by senior quarterback Ben Fulton. Boy, veteran player. This is his third year as a starter for Canyon Lake. So far, good numbers when he's asked to throw the football. 6 touchdowns, no picks. But again, this is a run-oriented offense.
Yeah.
But he has responsibility in that too.
Exactly.
And here's a run on first down. Across the 20 to the 24 is Tristan Chacon. Last week against the Badgers, 5 carries, 54 yards, and has looked pretty good this season.
Yeah, he did. That was just that's one of the basic plays in their offense where they give it to the offset wingman, and he's got blockers leading in the hole, and they want to hit that perimeter really hard. That's one of the things that the defense for the Eagles are going to have to adjust to.
You know, Geff, I mentioned your credentials earlier, playing at Baylor and then for Washington to the NFL, and I asked you the question before the game, if you'd ever faced an option-style offense like this, predicated around the slot T, triple option, whatever you want to call it. And while you didn't maybe see that in its true sense as the penalty makes it a first down here for Canyon Lake, I know you understand that to defend this kind of offense, it takes a lot of discipline.
It really does. You have to play sound defense. They run a base 4-2-5. That means they're single gap. You got to control your gap and force everything outside back in.
That a personal foul penalty, giving the Hawks a first down to their own 39.
Same play.
And on first down, as you heard Geff say, about the same play there. Different ball carrier this time, and a welcome return for Tanner Ferris.
Now that time, the only 2 yards, but it was the same play that Chacon just ran. The defense that time did a nice job adjusting out to the flow, and only for a 1 yard gain.
We have not seen Ferris since the third game of the season, got hurt in the first play that week against Giddings. His number is called here on 2nd and long, and a big alley to run through. Inside of midfield, and there he goes. Cutting it back outside, and he will score. Tanner Ferris, a house call, 60 yards, and the Hawks have struck back.
Well, welcome back, Tanner Ferris. How about that? A wing sweep to the opposite side of the field, and he just basically outran the entire defense along the sideline.
24th career rushing touchdown for Tanner Ferris, and again goes 60 yards, and now on for the PAT is the Ret to try and tie the game. Buckle up, we could be in for a good one tonight. And the Rets PAT ties the game. 5:01 to go, first quarter, 7 apiece. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Whether you're looking to build a new home, buy your first car, or follow your dream of being your own boss, let a neighbor help you. We understand your financial needs because we live and work here. Sage Capital Bank.
And we have got ourselves a ball game. 7 minutes into the opening quarter, and we are tied at 7 apiece. It took the Eagles 70 yards and about 6 minutes to score their touchdown for the Hawks. Well, they go about 85 yards and do that in a minute, capped off by a 60-yard touchdown run by Tanner Ferris. And here is the Ret to kick off from the 40. A short kick, and it gets behind Rogers, has to go back to the football to retrieve it. And on the return is buried at around the 21-yard line.
Well, we have a new ball game now. Even though it's halfway through the first quarter, it's still 7-7 to 0-0, basically. Go back to your game plan. I figured that they're going to do the same thing until you can stop it. Defensively, you probably will see a couple adjustments, a little bit more linebacker blitz, fill in the gaps, get in the backfield, maybe pressure Cagle a little bit more than he did the first series.
Again, the big key for the Eagles on their opening drive was third down conversions, 3 of them. Once from 3rd and 15, again from 3rd and 6, and finally on 3rd down and 11. A good start for both offenses so far in this game. And by the way, for Kenyon Lake with their touchdown earlier in the quarter, now 44 first quarter points this year. Cagle and the Eagles from their own 20-yard line. And a lot of movement before the snap will back this up 5 yards.
But they found a formation I think they like to run out of, and that's a trips formation instead of that double slot formation. I think they want to try to get that inside receiver who's lined up closest to the inside tackle, get him in the flow of the game a little bit, of the play, a little bit better.
By the way, for the Eagles, their defense has struggled this season. We saw maybe reasons why on the first Candy Lake possession. And that 60-yard touchdown, the 5th, making the 6th score this year, given up by the Eagles, covering 20 yards or more. And now 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line. Here's a blitz from Canyon Lake. Cagle will throw it and has a receiver who is wide open across the 25-yard line and down to the 30. That's Lopez, the tight end, and close to a first down.
That's one-on-one with the linebacker. That's his responsibility, is that backside tight end. They had the strong side to the trip side, which was the far side, the open side of the field, and they threw back to the weak side. Now, linebackers got to be able to pick up that tight end.
Geff, at linebacker, when you played, how many times you were responsible for covering a tight end?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time, especially on the weak side.
2nd and 1. And motion from Lopez, the tight end, who just made the catch. A long zone read play here, and the decision is to keep the football by Cagle, and turns out the first down. Up to about the 34-yard line, and another first down for this Akins offense.
Wasn't a whole lot there for Cagle to run through. He kind of ran right into the meat of the defense, but it was just enough for to pick up the first down.
Well, I wouldn't have thought coming into the game that the game plan for Akins would be to get Cagle involved running the football, but here we are more than halfway through the opening quarter, and he's running the football.
Well, he's the leading rusher right now, probably. I agree with that.
First out from the 34-yard line, empty backfield this time for Cagle, and he will throw. Well, look for Rogers, who didn't turn for the football. Was wide open down the near sideline at around the 45. Miscommunication there, and now 2nd and 10.
We got a flag in the backfield, Brant. It looks like that Snowden got some pressure on Cagle, and I wonder if he roughed him or not. I don't think it was a bad hit, but they may call it.
Yeah, there you go. Personal foul against Canyon Lake, and this will give the Eagles 15 yards and another first down.
That's one thing to make your opponent work for their yardage, not just give them this. This is crucial because now they're at midfield. When you have their back against them, you hold them, you get good field position.
And now the ball near midfield. And a fresh set of downs for Cagle and the Eagles. Another zone replay, this time a play action, and the throw to Brown is complete. Jeremiah Brown, 2nd catch. Close to another first down inside the Canyon Lake 45-yard line.
Real simple formation. There's double slot. Brown's out here on the near side of the field, and he runs an 8 route, turns around after 8 yards, and Cagle delivers the ball.
Again, so far in this game, all offense. Neither defense getting many stops. 2nd and short, play action pass again. Looked to be the same play again to Brown. Breaking a couple of tackles and then forced it out of bounds at around the 31-yard line.
Brandon, it looked like it was the same play. This time, though, the defense did send both outside linebackers. They just couldn't get to Cagle in time because that's a timing route. It's a 1-2-3 throw. And by that time, Brown's supposed to turn around and look for the ball, deliver it, pick up the run, and pick up the yardage, and that's what it did.
It's worth noting the depth advantage that the Eagles have in this game. More on that in a moment. And first down, and Cagle will throw it after play action, and again to Brown. Again, same play. inside the 25 and down to the 24-yard line for 7 more yards.
The corner is giving him so much cushion, and so they're going to give it to him. They're going to keep running it, and that time it's number 15, Madonna, which is a really good athlete. Now you can go back to do maybe a man-to-man, maybe zone on the top side, and then man down here on the underside.
2nd down and 2 to go. And Cagle off the play fake, looking Brown's way. He's covered, goes middle this time to Lopez, who dropped the football inside the 10. Would have been close to scoring if he holds on to it. Instead, it brings up 3rd down.
Well, one thing that we're seeing right now, we're seeing that Canyon Lake's secondary to back end is a little bit susceptible, especially in the spread type of formations. They're doing a good job up the front, but they got to buckle down and really get on those receivers a little bit tighter.
We have not seen the Hawks get a stop on 3rd down yet tonight. The Eagles are 3 for 3. Here's motion from Lopez on 3rd down. Canyon Lake showing a blitz. They're going to bring it. Pass over the middle, caught, wide open receiver, walks in for a touchdown. The catch inside the 10 and streaking in for an easy score is Jason Martinez. That's his 2nd touchdown this year. And the Eagles have gone the length of the football field again.
Did you see the formation? They went double slot. They moved Martinez and they made a trips. And then Martinez didn't go in the trips, but he was already out there, and he runs an inside route while the inside player runs an out route. It's wide open.
And on for the PAT is Rubalcaba to give the Eagles a 7-point lead, and he does just that. 1:58 to go, opening quarter. Back and forth we go from Hawk Stadium. It's the Eagles 14, the Hawks 7. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Introducing Hut Rewards from Pizza Hut. Finally, a rewards program that gives you points toward free pizza with every dollar you spend online. And get unlimited double rewards through October 1st. Don't settle for a piece of the pie. Join Hut Rewards today and earn free pizza faster. That's why no one outpizzas the Hut.
A lot of offensive fireworks so far, about 10 minutes into the game. 14-7, Akins Eagles on top. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns so far for the visitors out of Austin. And here is Rubalcaba's kickoff, and returnable from about the 12-yard line. Taking it back, Nick Rivera. Some nice blocks and a nice return to the 34-yard line. And the Hawks start there trailing 14-7. And Geff, during the break, we were going back through that Akins drive, a lot of the passing game there, a lot of it to Jeremiah Brown. The touchdown was a throw, Cagle to Martinez. And as a result, Canyon Lake will make its adjustments, but then we expect the Eagles will then in turn start running the football.
I would think so. Again, control the game by running the football. What we thought what the Eagles would do through the air, now we're going to see what the Hawks would do on the ground.
1st down carry for the quarterback, Ben Fulton. A physical run across the 45-yard line and down to the 47 on the stop there for the Eagles. A big tackle by Davis Ryan, but another Canyon Lake 1st down.
Coming into this game, Brant, the opponents that played against Akins averaged 34 points. So we knew that this defense was going to be soft or susceptible, but this is just too easy running football on them.
Another 1st down here and a big run for Chacon. Right on cue there, Geff. Another big gashing running play for the Hawks. Chacon churns out about 20 more yards and another Hawk 1st down.
Counter trade play, this time to Chacon coming across the formation. He's got a blocker leading for him. That was just wide open. That's way too easy for Chacon to get up 12 yards before he even is touched by a defender.
With great push up front for this big offensive line. You have the height twins, both at 6'3", 260, and at right guard, Jacob Foster, 6'3", 275. Another run here on 1st down to Tanner Ferris, a 60-yard touchdown run earlier in the quarter. This time picks up 3. setting up 2nd and 7 from the Akins 34-yard line. Final 30 seconds, first quarter. Entertaining game so far.
Now, you'd expect the safeties to come up here a little bit tighter on the formation, but you got to be susceptible of the play-action pass then.
On 2nd down and 8, they'll mark it. It is a throw, and it is to Ferris. A lot of room to run. And he's doing just that inside the 20, out of bounds, inside the red zone.
Did you see the block by Chacon, who was the man split out there on the outside? He's the one who sprung Ferris out, and he's able to get the pass and spur him because of a great block that time by Chacon.
We're seeing the Hawks really utilize a lot of the football field right now, Jeff. They're not just taking the ball up the middle here. They're getting wide, and Akins can't catch up.
They really can't. And again, my theory is you got whatever's outside, you got to force it back to the middle. So far, the Akins defense hasn't been able to do that.
36 minutes remaining in non-district play, and in this football game, a good one at that. It's the Akins Eagles 14, Canyon Lake 7. Start of the second quarter coming up. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh, so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Opening play, second quarter, Tanner Ferris breaking some tackles inside the 15 and down to the 11-yard line. Good opening quarter for Ferris. Scored the Hawks' lone touchdown and a 60-yard scamper into the end zone. But the Akins offense very good as well, and the Eagles have a 14-7 lead as we crack open the second quarter.
Crack open the second quarter. I tell you what, the Hawks are running the same plays that have been successful, that misdirection, and the defense hasn't been able to adjust since.
And here is a handoff up the middle. Micah St. John, the first down, inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. I haven't called his name a whole lot tonight, but that a good-looking run.
Real good-looking run. He looked like that time running with the football. He's bigger than 5'9", 195, but I tell you what, he's a tough young man, and he runs between the tackles. That was all up to him, and he just took a couple defenders with him, too.
Boy, this game feels as if the first team to 60 might win it. It's on the table right now. First and goal inside the 5. And Fulton with the handoff up the middle. How about Chacon? Bouncing off a tackler and rumbles into the end zone. And again, we are on the verge of being tied.
Yeah, I have a feeling we won't have a defense stop anyone tonight. It's just whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, whoever punts first loses in this game. And here is Trenton Lorette. Special teams will be important in this one, though, here, Jeff. If there are going to be a lot more touchdowns scored, you better make sure you're making these PATs.
Absolutely.
Covering kickoffs, etc. Lorette is 20 of 22 this year, and that ball sneaks inside the left upright. And we are again tied. 10:57 left until halftime. 14 apiece. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
At Frost, we have the top-rated app in the banking category. Yet it's the half-star that's missing that has our attention. So we're always pushing, tweaking, and updating. Because even a little half-star will keep us up at night.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
And welcome back to Hawks Stadium. 14-14 Hawks and Eagles, a battle of the birds here tonight. And so far, these two offenses are soaring right along. Canyon Lake moments ago got a touchdown run from Tristan Chacon, his 5th this year. And that leads the team, and neither offense being met with much resistance so far tonight.
No, both offenses look like they're in mid-season form right about now. Now we're going to see what defenses look like they're going to be in mid-season form.
And, Jeff, you and I were talking about it during the break. Ball security will be paramount in this game tonight.
Who's going to get a turnover? Who's going to make the other team make a mistake? May be the difference in tonight's game.
And here is Lorette out to kick off again. The kicker is pretty busy so far tonight and not punting the football. It's a short kickoff, and Rogers will field it just in the nick of time and takes the ball out to about the 28-yard line. That's it. And we now get our third look tonight at the Eagles offense. Last time out, they went over 80 yards for a touchdown, 2 touchdown passes so far for Nick Cagle. And now 10 touchdown passes on the year against only 1 interception.
It's going to be interesting to see if there's any defensive adjustments at this point. They're going to stay with their base look. But if someone's going to maybe spy Cagle, I think he's acting. I think Coach Garcia gave him the option. If it's open, you can run. Because I tell you, he's got decent speed. He's 4'8", 4'9", and 40, which isn't super fast, but he's certainly not slow, and he's very capable of running. So we'll see what happens from the defensive adjustments.
Should note that Rogers not on the field here in this first down play, their top running back. In the backfield now is E.J. Hernandez. It's a fake to him on first down. Cagle being pressured, takes off and runs again. Boy, he has been elusive tonight. Across the 35-yard line to the 37 for another 8-yard pickup. And Cagle is keeping the Eagles ahead of the chains here.
Well, he is, but I'll tell you what, that was play-action pass. And that time the secondary for Kenyon Lake did a nice job picking up the drag route coming across the middle of the field. So Cagle had nowhere to go except to eat the ball.
We are tied here, and right now they're also tied in Cleveland in Game 2 of the ALDS. Yankees and Indians 8 apiece in the 10th inning. 2nd and 2. Cagle will throw it after a pump fake, and the throw will not come because he is sacked back at the 30-yard line. Sam Shepard had a sack last week, has one here, setting up 3rd down and long.
Well, that's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback. That time it was originally by Ross Snowden who got in Cagle's face. Cagle had to pull the ball down, and that gave Shepard a chance to make the tackle. Good job by both those young men.
Again, the Eagles are perfect on 3rd down so far tonight, 4 for 4. 5 wide on 3rd down and 8. Cagle looking to throw. Steps up. Pressured again. Sacked again. No, he breaks out of it and then slammed out of bounds. Boy, we saw Parker Reno force Cagle outside the pocket on the blitz. And finally, Kenyon Lake gets a stop on 3rd down.
Again, that's a secondary tackle because all the receivers were covered like a book, and that's why Cagle had to eat the run, had to eat the football, try to get whatever he could getting around the end, and didn't get a whole lot.
So this game is about 14 minutes old, and this is now our first punt. And out to punt is Valente Medell for the Eagles. And back to return is Lorette for Kenyon Lake. Only 10 men of the field right now for one of the two teams. And here is an end-over end punt, and not a good one, sailing out of bounds. And they will mark it out at the Hawks' 37-yard line.
Not bad field position either, and that's the first defensive stop of the game. And that's at the perfect time, too.
31-yard punt there for Medell. And the Hawks, the football, with a chance to take their first lead tonight. And by the way, Jeff, when I was given the baseball score, you gave me a thumbs up, but the game is tied. So who was it you're pulling for?
Well, I think when you said it was tied, I kind of went, went back down.
But the Yankees were up 8-3,
yes.
And the Indians came battling back.
I'd like to see the Yankees do it.
I'm with you on that one. First down for the 37, run to Chacon, and another big hole for the Hawks rushing attack. And Chacon runs right through it for a first down to the 47-yard line.
That is probably play number 100 or number 1 you learn when you come to school here. You're going to run that little wing sweep. That time to Chacon, you've got the off guard and the off guard and tackle pulling in front of Chacon. It makes it for there's more blockers than there are defenders on the side. It's very hard to defend.
We see Chance Martelli checking at wide receiver here, lines up wide left on first down. Ferris the motion man, handoff Micah St. John. As a flag flies in, this might come back. The stop made by Jared Chapa, not before. St. John turns out about 7 more yards as we check the marker.
That's the second time we've seen St. John just hit with that quick dive play on the left side. That time Joseph Crisp and Braden Height doing a nice job making a hole for St. John.
And this an illegal chop block called against Canyon Lake, so that wipes out the run by St. John, who burned these Eagles a year ago. Ran for $145 and scored 3 times at a 42-20 Canyon Lake win. And this penalty will mark the ball all the way back to the 32-yard line.
That basically took field position out of the equation right now. That chop block is when the defensive man is engaged with an offensive man and another offensive lineman is coming down low. You just can't do that anymore.
Yeah, as a defender, the position you play, Jeff, that's a dangerous play. And here on first down, Tanner Ferris, a nice stiff arm, angles out of bounds at around the 42-yard line for about 8-9 yards there. So again, the chop block rule in place to protect the defenders.
Absolutely. I mean, you're engaged with an offensive lineman and you're upright and someone comes down on your knees. I mean, you could take a kid's knee out and that could be the rest of the season for him. I've seen it too many times.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about some of the adjustments that Canyon Lake did the last series on defense. I don't see a whole lot of adjustments now on Akins' side.
A play action here and a deep ball. It is caught by Cayman McDonough. What a throw there by Ben Fulton. A strike right to McDonough. His first catch since catching 2 touchdowns in the season opener against Blanco. But there is a penalty marker back at the 40-yard line. This one might be coming back as well.
This is going to be holding against.
And it is.
It is. Well, what a beautiful looking play, though. I mean, Fulton did a nice job with the bootleg, and he waited just enough time for McDonough to drag across the field and hit that little window of opening between the linebackers and the safety. And you can throw it high on McDonough because he's 6 feet 5 inches. He's a big man out there. Just to throw it up almost like a dunk play, and that way McDonough, reached up high to get the pass. So. Good-looking play, but it comes back from a holding penalty.
And you feel for Fulton because you don't get asked to throw the football a lot. And that only a second attempt tonight was good for about 20-plus yards and wiped off the record books. And a timeout called by the Hawks. Their first, they have 2 left, 7:53 left here in the first half, and we are knotted at 14 apiece. And Geoff again, tonight's game, the final non-district game of the season. Next week, the 14-4A opener against Austin Eastside Memorial. You look at the 14-4A district, and for the 5 teams winning records, these Hawks, Bernie's undefeated. Right now they're playing Wimberley, the Greyhounds and the Texans. Bernie is 5-0. Fredericksburg, who will host Bernie next week in their district opener. The Billies are 4-1. Taylor, the reigning district champs, are 3-2. And this is a very competitive district.
There's a lot of parity. I mean, every team has potential of winning a district. And that makes it interesting. Every Friday night you got to show up and play, and the coaches know that and the kids know that, and I think you get the best play from the kids as well. I like it. As a spectator, this is great.
Well, the district a year ago came down to the final game, the final moments. It was Taylor, Canyon Lake in overtime for the district 14-4A title.
Wish I could have seen that.
The Ducks pulled it out last moment. Play action here on second down and forever. The penalty mark. The Hawks back to the 31-yard line. The pass out of the flat is incomplete to set up third down and about 31 to go, or third and 26 to go rather. And for a run-heavy offense, this is pretty tough to convert.
It is. You're out of your comfort zone. You're doing things that normally you don't. That's not your strength as far as an offensive scheme. But that last play, Trip Ryan, number 12, the free safety for Akins, he was in Fulton's face, and there's nothing he could have done about it. Nice job of calling a blitz on that time. that last play.
The Hawks have to reach the Akins 43 for a first down.
Trap.
It is an inside handoff up to about the 41-yard line, and that's all for Trent Lorette. Gave the punter some more room there to get the punt off here in a moment. A field position play there for Candy Lake. Not much of an attempt to actually convert on third down, and now Ben Fulton out to punt.
Well, you would think that they would want to throw the football, so that trap play, quick trap play, is actually a nice play. You may try to catch the defensive lineman coming up field fast, and you can run by him, and it worked for about 5 or 6 yards, and that's about it.
Rugby-style punt by Fulton. And that takes a Canyon Lake roll inside the 25 and marked to the bounds. Let's see where they spot it at around the 22-yard line.
Well, they basically flipped the field with the punt. You know, Canyon Lake had a nice job of some nice plays. They were connecting that long pass to McDonough. Unfortunately, penalties killed that last drive. And put him out of position to even convert it first down, but a nice job with the punt to convert to transition the field position back in your favor.
Now, the last time, though, that we saw the Eagles come out at offense, we did see Canyon Lake's defense make some nice adjustments. Getting it 3 and out, and now first half of the 21 for Cagle and Austin Akins. Play action pass, boy, a dangerous throw to traffic, but a catch made out around the 30-yard line. On the catch, Greg Borgeson, and he's gotten about 9 yards there to bring up second down and 1.
Well, just when I thought that they would go back to running the football, well, that's just a little play action pass, and that time the inside, they were in double slots. The inside receiver just ran a little hook, 8-yard hook, and he's wide open.
Second and short from the 30-yard line now. Open playbook here for the Eagles as the Hawks show a blitz. Left tackle Stephen Cates pointing that out. Back to throw. Cagle evades the rush, but then the third defender comes in to finish him off. Back at around the 28-yard line. A loss there to bring up third down and 4.
Nice defensive call that time when you got Parrish and Snowden in the backfield, and that's what you're going to have to do is disrupt the timing of Cagle and his passing. And that time, Cagle had nowhere to run to. It's a big third down.
We saw the Hawks get a third down stop the last time Akins was on offense, but remember that opening quarter, the Eagles 4 for 4 on third down. The big threat, Jeremiah Brown, lined up wide to the right here on third down and 4 to go. Motion from Lopez to tight end. Play action pass over the middle is bobbled and caught. Borgeson, the first down grab. Up to about the 42-yard line. Another third down conversion for the Eagles.
That was the same play they ran the first quarter when they go into trips. They motion into trips and they want to hit that inside receiver. That's why I motioned across the field, because the safety widens out and the middle of the field is wide open, Brant.
Inside of 6 minutes to go until halftime, knotted at 14 apiece. Defenses have stepped up in the second quarter, but the Eagles now on the run. Or on the move, rather, and Cagle on first down will throw it and goes off the hands of Rogers, who was defended out in space by Parker Reno, setting up second and 10.
Nice job on really the coverage of both the Canyon Lakes corners, because I think Cagle wanted to go deep, but they were both covered, so he checked off to his checkoff receiver, which was Rogers out in the flat.
Again, the Hawks coming off a gritty win last week. They were down 21-7 in the first half against Lampasas, came back to win the game 35-21, and they had trailed by 7 points on 2 different occasions so far tonight. Second and 10. Empty backfield for Cagle. Here's the Hawks rush. Cagle runs by it and spins inside the 45, and they're going to mark him down right there on the stop. Lee Stafford bringing up third down and 7 to go.
Well, that quarterback draws. I think that was a called play. I think Cagle just isn't quite quick enough to take advantage of the time he had it was open, because the defense filled it very quickly for only a yard gain.
Now remember, a big loss on defense tonight for Canyon Lake. The starting middle linebacker, Grayson Lee, is out for this game.
Good point.
Third down, 7 to go from the 45. Stacked receivers either side for Cagle. A passing down, he will throw it. On the run, Lasso down, gets the ball out just before he goes down to the field. And they are going to apply the pressure, Ross Snowden, to bring up fourth down.
Again, pressure in the backfield. That's the best way to disrupt this offense, is put pressure on Cagle. And again, Canyon Lake's defense does a nice job coming off the edge and putting pressure. He couldn't get the pass off, fourth down. This is another big stop by the defense.
And really good downfield coverage as well.
Yeah, it really
there.
was.
Yeah.
It really was. And, whether it was a secondary sack or if it's because of the pressure up front, it doesn't matter. Just make the play. Everybody's got to do their job.
And here is Valente Medel back to punt. His last one traveled 31 yards. It's a fake, a throw, and a near one-handed catch made by Lopez. Not a great throw there by Rowan Sterling, and the Eagles get creative, but they don't get the completion. And now here, Geff, the Hawks are in business.
They are in business now. You take a risk like that when it's a non-district game, and I think that they wanted to get their offense back on the field and do something before the end of the first half. It's just unfortunately for them and fortunately for Canyon Lake that didn't come to a completion.
We have not seen many short fields in this game all night, and now they take over, the Hawks do, at the Eagle 44. Big run inside the 30. Tanner Ferris dragged out from behind out around the 20-yard line by Davis Ryan, and the Hawks offense moving right along after the turnover on downs.
Yeah, again, misdirection. It's that wing counter coming back to the short side of the field, this time with Ferris running the football. And those linebackers are scraping to where the flow is, and the ball's coming back the opposite direction. They got to be able to slow down and fill the gaps.
Again, Ferris, a big run earlier in the game, a 60-yard touchdown. Here running is Chacon, and is dropped it around the 16-yard line. That's good for about 7. Hawks again staying ahead of the chains. 2nd down and 4 to go.
Oh, it's nice to be second and short on any offense, and that's what Brant's saying when he says stay ahead of the chains, and this offense does a nice job doing that. Okay. Hey, a lot of note, the left side, Brandon Height and Joseph Crisp has been doing a nice job all the first half. I mean, they keep running to that left side. There's been holes all night long.
2nd down, 4 to go. Here is Ferris again, trying to slice it back inside, and is able to churn out first down yardage inside the 15-yard line.
I like the way this offense runs, because it's almost like you've got 2 tight ends, and then your wide receivers are lined up in wing backs. That's a lot of blockers on the line of scrimmage. So whatever you do up there, you're going to be outnumber the number of defenders on the line. So it's a really nice way of running your offense.
Hawks 11 yards away from their first lead tonight. Running play up the middle. Micah St. John powers down to the 5-yard line. Hard-looking run there by the senior fullback, and now 2nd down and 3.
Nice block that time by Jacob Foster, 6'3", 275, the right guard. He just pushed his man back 4 yards and made it nice for St. John to come right off his butt.
The Hawks have never had a Division I player in the history of their program. This is their 10th season playing varsity football, but Foster may break that mold. He's got the look of a D1 offensive lineman.
Yeah, he does. He's got the size, and, of course, he's still young, too. He's just a pup.
On 2nd and 3, a run to the near side and going into the end zone. Tanner Ferris for the 2nd time tonight. And his 2nd effort has put the Hawks on top.
Ferris had to do a little stutter step there to let the defender overfake, or he kind of faked him out there right before he made his cut upfield. It's just a nice job. It's nice to get him back on the field to see what he can do, and obviously he looks like he has fresh legs, Brant.
So the Hawks on the previous drive, because of penalties, got behind the chains. Yeah. And there, Geff, throughout that possession, they were winning 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key to it.
PAT right on point by Lorette, and the Hawks have a 21-14 lead, 2:11 to go in the first half. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
Canyon Lake's highest scoring quarter this season has been the second quarter, and they've added 7 points to that total, courtesy of a touchdown run from Tanner Ferris moments ago, his second tonight. And with a shade of over 2 minutes to go until halftime, the Hawks have their first lead, 21-14.
Number 21, the speedster, Malcolm Rogers for the Eagles.
And again, the Hawks last week were down 21-7, came back to win the game. Tonight, down 7-zip and 14-7, and have clawed back to take the lead.
Well, it's time for the defense to rise up and get another stop here right at the end of the first half. Go in the locker room ahead by 7. I think that would be nice for Coach Drum, huh?
Last 2 times out, Geff, and yes, I'm with you on that. Great way to end the half potentially because the Hawks will get the football to open the third quarter. Here is Rogers on the return and lasted out of bounds by Kamen McDonough out across the 30-yard line. And we look back at what the Hawks have done against Akins' offense the last 2 times out. A 3-and-out, forcing a punt last time out. A turnover on downs.
Turnover on downs, exactly. And you wouldn't say that this is actually deep in penetration in their territory. They're starting at the 33-yard line, but it'd be nice to not let them get a first down and maybe get your offense back on the field one more time before the end of the first half to maybe nail this thing down.
If you are the Eagles right now, though, you're on a 3-game losing streak coming into the game tonight, looking to start district play next week with some momentum. This is an important possession because if they don't score, are down at minimum by 7 at half, with the Hawks having the football to open the second half, they could be in trouble. Here's Rogers on first down. Nice opening play of the drive, cutting it back inside, and finally dropped it around the Hawk 36-yard line.
Misdirection play that time to Rogers, and it was all him and his athletic ability to run through the secondary of Canyon Lake, and he did a nice job picking up about 20 yards. Now, this is not what I thought was going to happen,
yeah.
to be honest with you.
Well, it seemed as if the Eagles got away from Rogers in this first half, but that a nice run, good for 33 yards. And the Eagles in position perhaps to tie the game now. On a nice opening play of that drive, handoff, Jeremiah Brown running left, and a nice first down play, good for about 4 yards there. On the stop was Reno, second down, and they're going to say 7 to go.
Well, when you look at the defense, how they adjusted or how they're aligned, the linebackers and secondary are all back 5 and 10 yards, so it's easy to run the football and get 5 or 6 yards, and it's moved to change because both sidelines have 3 timeouts left.
A minute 24 remaining until halftime, and given the field position, the timeout situation Geff just alluded to, plenty of time here for the Eagles. On second and 7, Cagle. Protection breaks down, steps up, takes off to run again, and finally dragged down at around the 28-yard line. The pressure came from Richard Rosas. The stop made by Michael Harwell, who's filling in tonight for the banged-up Grayson Lee, and a big third down coming up.
Yeah, Madonna did a nice job. He's the corner on the wide side of the field. He was one-on-one with Brown downfield, and that's where Cagle was wanting to go first. He had to end up just eating the football.
Third down, 3 to go from the Hawks' 28. Here's the blitz, a 6-man rush. Cagle pressured and throws. The pass is broken up. Intended for Jeremiah Brown, the last second. Broken up by Kamen McDonough. Well, how about that blitz dialed up by Canyon Lake?
Well, yeah, you have to get pressure on him, and I tell you what, that's a dangerous pass by Cagle. That's just a hope and a prayer. He's lucky that wasn't intercepted. That's more or less an ill-advised way of throwing the football.
Well, too close to punt, too far for a field goal. 4th down and 3 from the 28. The offense stays out there for Akins. Play clock winding down to about 10 seconds. The game clock at 43, and Coach Umberto Garza calls for timeout. This is Coach Garza's 7th season, by the way, at Akins, but a tough go of it for him. 13-52 over the past 6+ years, but this has been a rocky start to the Akins football program, dating back to 04. The high school went up in 2000. So since that 04 season, a record of 25-109.
Well, you know, when we were putting this game together a couple days ago, we looked at all of the starters. And you know, Brent, they got a lot of juniors and sophomores that are either one or backups or starters. So in a way, maybe it's kind of a young team. Now, they have seniors in some of the specialty positions, but relatively young. So maybe being 1-3 as a start before they get in district play. Maybe Coach Garcia is saying, you know what, we just got to get the right kids in there, get in some play experience, get ready for district. And I tell you, they look pretty sharp in what they want to do here tonight.
Yeah, based on what we saw coming into the game, again, some really good showings in defeat and looked sharp so far tonight. Just they've yet to put everything together.
Yep.
4th down and 3 for the 28. Hawks bringing a blitz again. Pass is incomplete. Looking for Jason Martinez and Lee Stafford right there to break it up.
Nice job by the Rover. He had that demand, the receiver in the flat. I think he was able to disrupt the pass just enough so that the receiver was able to catch it. Nice job by the senior linebacker.
And this could spell trouble now for the Eagles. There is 39 seconds to go until halftime. The Hawks of football at their own 29 with 2 timeouts. And again, Kenya Lake will get the ball to start the second half. If the Eagles give up a score here, it could be in for a long night. First down run. Ferris, a big night so far. Big block at the outside from Chacon. But instead of going out of bounds, stays in play. The clock ticking as he takes it to the 37-yard line.
I think Coach Drum is satisfied going in up by 7, but let me comment on 2 spectacular blocks, one by Chacon and by Lorette on the outside that really sprung the runner on the outside to be free.
Final 10 seconds. A snap is taken by Fulton. A run to Micah St. John is a nice one, but to midfield with 2 seconds to go. Not much left Canyon Lake can do. However, Coach Drum does call for time, and
1 second left.
Geff, we haven't seen Ben Fulton's armor display a lot. You think he could throw the ball 50 yards for a Hail Mary shot here?
I don't know. I think they're just going to try to do something just a little bit trickery. Nothing fancy, but just try to catch him off guard. See if they can wiggle away into the end zone. Nothing that they don't want to be on film for their competitors, for the other teams in district. He's coming around the corner. So I would if I was a coach, but I'm not a coach.
And not only is this the final non-district game for Kenyon Lake, but for Akins as well. They'll open their district next week at home against San Marcos.
I'm just real impressed with really the style and you know, the discipline that you see from Canyon Lake offense, how they huddle real close to the ball, they break, they run up to the line of scrimmage, get down their stance, and they go. I like that. It doesn't allow the defense a whole lot of time to adjust.
We do see the Eagles playing prevent defense here. 4 defensive backs playing 20 yards off the ball. It is a pass here for Fulton. Throws. The pass is caught by Ferris, who takes a shot out around the 38-yard line by Kevon Mays. Nice throw. It'll pad the stats, but it will also end the first half. And we are through 24 minutes of action here from Hawk Stadium, and Kenya Lake is on top. It's the Hawks 21, the Eagles 14. This is Kenya Lake football on the Hawks Network.
At Frost, we have the top-rated app in the banking category. Yet it's the half star that's missing that has our attention. So we're always pushing, tweaking, and updating. Because even a little half star will keep us up at night.
Introducing Hut Rewards from Pizza Hut. Finally, a rewards program that gives you points toward free pizza with every dollar you spend online. And get unlimited double rewards through October 1st. Don't settle for a piece of the pie. Join Hut Rewards today and earn free pizza faster. That's why no one out-pizzas the Hut.
you're looking to build a new home, buy your first car, or follow your dream of being your own boss, let a neighbor help you. We understand your financial needs because we live and work here. Sage Capital Bank.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and is hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
And Akins did win the toss earlier in the game and elected to receive. They did cash in that possession for a touchdown, but now it's the Hawks' turn to start the second half with the football.
Well, let's see what the Aiken defense did at halftime. See what they can come up with, because it's been a fair Chacon show on the first half.
And the kickoff fielded by Lorette, and we are underway from inside of his zone 5. A flag flies in from behind the play as Lorette is stopped at around the 20-yard line.
Let's wait and see what the flag is about. This may push Canyon Lake way back in the hole if it's against them.
Penalties, a fairly big storyline back in the first half. There were back-to-back flags that wiped out a promising Canyon Lake drive. They wound up punting on it. They are speaking with Coach Drum. And it is a personal foul against the Eagles on the kickoff to start the third quarter, and not a good start of the second half for Coach Garza's football team.
Yeah, it was a good kickoff coverage by Aiken, and they had Canyon Lake in the hole, but that illegal or that penalty pushes them out to the 35-yard line. Not a bad place to start the second half.
And here is Ben Fulton to lead out this Canyon Lake offense. Didn't throw the ball a lot, but made good decisions in the first half. One of his nice throws was wiped out due to one of those aforementioned penalties. It is a running play in their first third quarter play here. And that is Lorette, who was stood up at around the 39-yard line. Gains about 4 yards to bring up second down and 6.
Well, one thing we've seen right off the bat, they put 9 in the box to try to stop the run. And that time the safety, Swain Mack, the senior, had to come up and still make the tackle. So I guess they're doing everything they can to put as many bodies up at the line of scrimmage.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised they didn't go to that sooner. You know, an offense that does not throw the football very much, why not put 10 in the box? And here, 9 in the box for the Eagles. Running play, and those 9 in the box are able to keep the Hawks from getting the first down. Micah St. John the carry to the 43-yard line before we stop by Sayer Mack, and a big third down coming up.
Yeah, that's kind of just an old grunt play. It's a trap right up the middle, and it's just man-on-man, big guy on big guy, and try to push the other one out. It's good for about 1.5 yards. It makes it for a big third down here.
We didn't see many third downs in the first half for the Hawks offense because they kept winning first and second. Third down play here does turn out first down yardage inside of midfield. The Eagles' 47-yard line, St. John, the third down carry leading to a first.
That's a good-looking play, Grant. It's a quick trap to St. John, the fullback, and before you can blink an eye, he's past you because of all the commotion in the backfield and the misdirection with the halfbacks. It freezes the linebackers and the safeties where they hesitate just enough, and before you know it, St. John's got the ball running by you. It's a good-looking play.
And now first down from inside of midfield. Third quarter just underway, 2 minutes old. Hawks on top by 7, spinning down to the 42-yard line. That's Caleb Allman on the carry that time for the Hawks. First time we've called his name tonight. And it sets up second down and 5 to go.
2nd and 5. There's a lot of things you can do on 2nd and 5. And right now, Coach Drum is probably thinking this would be a little bit creative and see what else we can do. But I tell you, I wouldn't deviate too far from what's been working so far.
On second down. Back to throw, Fulton going deep, got a receiver inside the 10, he dropped the football. Chance Martelli, looking for his first catch this year, had a great chance there, could not haul it in, and now 3rd down and 5.
You couldn't have asked for a better opportunity for play action pass Fulton did a nice job faking the run and kind of hid the ball to his belly. Then he raised the ball up, and the backup quarterback, Martelli, was racing down the middle of the field, split the safeties in half and had a chance to catch it for a touchdown. Just fell through his hands.
And by the way, the first person to greet Martelli, head coach Charlie Drum on the sideline. On third down, here's a big play inside the 30-yard line. Tristan Chacon, one man to beat and dragged down to the 10 by Sayer Mack. Chacon had a touchdown back in the first half and a big run on third down there.
Everybody's congratulating Chacon, and they should, but I tell you what, Chacon ought to come back and pat all those linemen on the butt too, because they did a nice job with producing a nice hole on the left side. Again, Crisp and Height are having a great time, a great game so far.
And again, the interior of that offensive line, Crisp at guard, Foster the other guard, and Height there in the middle. Very formidable offensive trio. Inside the 5, into the end zone for the third time, Tanner Ferris. Touchdown, Canyon Lake on top now, 27-14.
Yeah, well, nothing fancy, just the same play, but back to the other side with Ferris. It's just a hard play to defend because you're outnumbered to the play side. And unless the linebacker and the safety comes up quick enough to meet the runner in the hole, it's really difficult.
Tanner Ferris, welcome back, missed the last 2.5 ball games. Going out early at Giddings 3 weeks ago, into the lineup tonight, and 3 times into the end zone. PAT is good by Lorette. It's all Canyon Lake right now on a 21-0 scoring run. 9:03 to go, third quarter. Canyon Lake 28, Akins 14. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Introducing Hut Rewards from Pizza Hut. Finally, a rewards program that gives you points toward free pizza with every dollar you spend online. And get unlimited double rewards through October 1st. Don't settle for a piece of the pie. Join Hut Rewards today and earn free pizza faster. That's why no one outpizzas the Hut.
At Frost, we have the top-rated app in the banking category. Yet it's the half star that's missing that has our attention. So we're always pushing, tweaking, and updating. Because even a little half star will keep us up at night.
Last year, it was Micah St. John who burned the Eagles with 3 rushing touchdowns. Tonight, those honors go to Tanner Ferris, 3 rushing scores. Has put the Hawks on top, 28-14 after his last rushing touchdown. With 9:03 to go in the third quarter, it's all Canyon Lake right now.
Yeah, impressive first drive to start the third quarter, Brant, and that's exactly what Coach Drum wanted his offense to do. Take control of the football and go up by 14 points.
Good to see the Hawks, by the way, also brush aside that dropped would-be touchdown by Chance Martelli. Came right back the next play. A big run for Tristan Chacon. One play later, Ferris into the end zone. And here is Lorette's kickoff, and Rogers will pick it up at around the 11-yard line. And by the time he found the football, the Hawks got back to cover him.
Yeah.
At around the 20, that's where the Eagles' drive will start. Once on top, 14-7, and now down by 2 scores. The margin for error for Akins' offense is getting smaller right now.
It really is. Now you put the pressure on them to have to throw the football or do something quick. And I don't think they have the kind of offense or the talent to be able to handle that right now because everything is on Canyon Lake's side of the football field right now. The momentum's there with them. And if the defense comes up with a 3 and out, this thing could get out of hand.
First time of the second half, we're getting a look at Nick Cagle. Again, a very good first half through 2 touchdown passes on the first 2 possessions for Akins. From his own 19 on first down, and Cagle will hand it off. No, he will not. Whistles first. It's coming back 5 yards.
Yeah.
False start here against the Eagles, and we mentioned the margin for error. Well, penalties, applied there, and now the Eagles face the first down at 15.
Mm-hmm. And their backs against their goal line, if you look at it this way. Again, they'd like to come out in this double splits. Mm-hmm. To the wide side and the short side of the field, 1 back. That's called 10 personnel. It means you got 4 wide receivers, and 1 running back. They like that formation because you can do a lot of different run plays and pass plays from it.
On 1st and 15, it is a draw to Rogers up the right side, stumbles up to the original line of scrimmage at around the 20. That's it to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Good flow at that time by the defensive line and linebackers, just reading their keys, flowing to the football, and getting Rogers. Now, Rogers did pick up about 6 yards, but nice job by the defense. Don't let them get behind you. Just play to run.
Again, last week, Candy Lake's defense gave up 3 touchdowns early against Lampasas, then locked the Badgers down, and we're seeing it play out pretty similarly here tonight.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. And here is motion from Martinez, a touchdown catch back of the first half. And Cagle off the play fake will throw a deep ball way over the head of Brown. Good coverage over the top from McDonough. And now the Eagles face with 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, that's that play that they had success the first quarter throwing it to Brown because the McDonough, the corner, is giving him a 10-yard cushion. And they motion to trips to that side, so you have to give them cushion because you're going zone that side, and you go man-to-man on the weak side. So that's a play that can be very effective for you if you can complete the pass.
Empty backfield here on 3rd and 10 from their own 20, and the junior quarterback looking to throw. Steps up. Cagle on the run, throws, has a receiver. Rogers across the 40, inside of midfield, turns on the Jets, and he is inside the 5 and gone. 80-yard touchdown, Malcolm Rogers, and the Eagles are right back in it.
When they changed the formation and went empty, and Rogers was just dragging across the middle of the formation behind the linebackers in front of the safeties, and Cagle was actually scrambling, and it gave time for the secondary to loosen up. Rogers was wide open and coming across the middle of the field, and it was a good passing catch for a touchdown.
Rogers' 2nd touchdown tonight. And now out for the PAT is Duve Ruvalcaba for the Eagles to make it a 7-point game. And that kick will make it a 7-point affair. So the Eagles strike back. Their first third-quarter possession ends in an 80-yard touchdown to Malcolm Rogers. 7:51 to go third quarter. Candy Lake 28, Akins 21. This is Candy Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Welcome back to Hawks Stadium. Just under 8 minutes to go, third quarter. We got ourselves a ball game again. Candy Lake 28, Akins 21. We brought this up earlier. The Eagles prone to giving up big plays, but also prone to getting some of their own. Moments ago, an 80-yard touchdown catch from Malcolm Rogers, and that is now the 7th touchdown this year for the Eagles offense, covering over 40 yards.
We saw how fast he is. He runs a 4.6 40. He turned on the afterburners once he hit the sidelines instead of touchdown.
It did appear, though, that Rogers a bit gimpy after scoring the touchdown as the kickoff gets through the wickets of the returner for the Hawks, and Lorette dives back onto the football for a touchback.
I thought maybe he was even muffed. It might have touched the receiver, so he had to come down and recover it on the end zone.
And we'll keep an eye to see if Rogers will come back into the game. He's definitely the biggest weapon for Akins. They need him back out there. But now the Eagles want to get a stop on defense. Candy Lake's offense has looked very impressive the entire game. Only 1 punt so far for Candy Lake.
And that was due to a lot of penalties that put him back in the hole.
So far, no turnovers in the game either for either team, although Akins did have a turnover on downs back in the second quarter. Last time out for the Hawks in offense, a touchdown ending the drive from Tanner Ferris. And a nice run on first down across the 30 and across the 35 and all the way down to the 38-yard line. And there is Chacon on the run, and a lot of action happening afterwards. The play had been whistled dead, and the Eagles wouldn't let up, and that will tack on 15 more yards after the big run by Chacon.
Yeah. I wish I could tell you it was a different kind of play, but it's just that wing counter. This time Chacon was the one on the receiving end, and he had a nice hole to run through. Again, it's very difficult to stop that run, and they're going to keep running it until they figure out how to stop it.
And another flag thrown, by the way, just now, as the head official was assessing the penalty.
What was the second one for?
Unsportsmanlike against the Eagles, talking to the official.
You know, that just kills you. You're trying to you're clawing your way back into this game. Your offense comes out and does a nice job getting back to 7 points, and your defense goes out there and just does dumb things like that.
So think about that. The Hawks ran a play at their own 25-yard line, the very first play of this drive. A big run by Chacon, 30 yards of penalties later, and the field has been flipped all the way now to the Eagle 32. It's hard to win football games that way.
It's very difficult. And you know what? Those offensive kids over on the offensive side, they got to be frustrated.
And now first down for the Akins 32. Running play up the middle, Micah St. John dragged down from behind. Out around the 28-yard line on the stop there, Devontae Admonson for the Eagles. Second down and 6 to go.
Well, that has been St. John's play all night long. It's that quick trap or that dive play right off the guard of Foster this time. It's good for 5 yards. I mean, it's a very effective play because if you look at the formation of the offensive linemen, there's no gaps. Mm-hmm. They're almost shoe to shoe. So it's very difficult to get defensive penetration.
On second down and 6, a run. Ferris cutting it back up the middle, bouncing it back outside. A flag flies in, and Ferris finally dropped by Marcus Castillo at around the 15, but this one might come back.
Yeah, Joseph Chris, number 50, was actually pulling and leading on the play, but I think he grabbed a little bit of the defender's jersey when he was trying to make the block. The referee saw it through the flag. Yeah.
And the football marked back at the Eagles' 36-yard line. Again, Candy Lake coming in, a record of 3-2. And the Eagles 1-3. They were off last week. Last played 2 weeks ago, a 34-21 loss at Austin McCallum. And Geff, you played the game for a long time. That extra week of rest, just how much does that do for you and your body?
It's tremendous because you get those, you've gone through 2-a-days and fall ball, and now you start the season. You need that time to get your body rested.
After the penalty, Tanner Ferris the carry, running left to the 25. And it makes up a big chunk of the penalty yardage. And it brings up about third down and 4 to go.
Now you're ahead of the chains a little bit. You're 3rd and 4. That's a doable down and distance for this offense. Probably look for that little counter tray play or that counter sweep. It's worked all night long.
I wonder here, Geff, if we might see some play action.
Well, go for it. Go for the end zone on this one. It depends if there's 9 or 10 in the box.
They have to reach the Eagles 22 for a first down. It is a run up the middle and a first down carry there for Ullman, his second carry of the game. And now the Hawks setting up inside the red zone, already on top, 28-21, more than halfway through this third quarter. And by the way, now a final from Cleveland in 13 innings. The Indians walk off and beat the Yankees. A walk-off single hit by Jan Gomes, and now open the series 2-0.
I thought you were going to give us good news there, Brant.
No, unfortunately not. No. As Ullman the carry here, that's some good news to the 18-yard line for a couple of yards. Second down and 8 to go.
Well, and again, what do you do defensively against an offense that's just been able to run at will at you? Is just you got to grit. You got to just buckle down and grab a little extra turf and do whatever you can to get in there and make the play. Right now, schematically, defensively, they don't know how to force the ball back inside.
And I'm looking down to the Eagles offense, a lot of tired-looking bodies out there right now.
Yeah.
On second and 8, a run to Chacon up the middle and trying to drag him down in play. Davis Ryan cannot. Had him by the jersey, but Chacon takes him a few more yards and into pay dirt for another touchdown for him, his second tonight. And the Candy Lake rushing attack on point so far this evening.
It's on point, and coming in this game, the opponents to Aiken has averaged 34 points a game. Well, they're at 34 points in the third quarter here.
So 3 touchdowns for Ferris, 2 for Chacon, whose jersey probably a bit looser right now after that tackle attempt there by Ryan. PAT good, and it's all good here from Hawk Stadium. Canyon Lake 35, Akins 21. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
At Frost, we have the top-rated app in the banking category. Yet it's the half-star that's missing that has our attention. So we're always pushing, tweaking, and updating. Because even a little half-star will keep us up at night.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
Whether you're looking to build a new home, buy your first car, or follow your dream of being your own boss, let a neighbor help you. We understand your financial needs because we live and work here. Sage Capital Bank.
Big double dose tonight of Tanner Ferris and Tristan Chacon, combined 5 rushing touchdowns, and it's all Hawks right now. With 4:30 to go in the third quarter, Canyon Lake on top 35-21. That last scoring drive, though, Geff, heavily aided by personal foul penalties committed by Akins.
Absolutely, it was actually aided on the front side. I mean, on the kickoff, Akins had them pinned back on the other side of the football field. Then you start at midfield because of penalties. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're self-destructing, and it's not helping your offensive teammates when your defense is giving the other opponent's offense that kind of break.
Canyon Lake's offense so far tonight: 7 possessions, 5 touchdowns, 1 punt, and the end of the first half. Here is the kickoff from Lorette, and not sure that was a wise decision there by Rogers to field the football as he takes him out of bounds inside of his own 20-yard line. And the Eagles will start with about 80-plus yards to go, down by 14 points, but silver lining right now, Geff, is that Rogers is back in the game.
He's back in the game, and, I know he shouldn't have fielded that kickoff, but you know what? I don't fault him. He's just trying to make a play and get his team back into this football game.
You heard Geff and I praise this trio of stars at offense for the Eagles coming into the game. Nick Cagle at quarterback, Malcolm Rogers at tailback, and Jeremiah Brown at receiver. Well, so far the first 2 have lived up to it, but Brown has been relatively quiet so far at wideout for the Eagles.
He's been covered well by Madonna out there in the corner.
From their own 18 on first down, and Cagle will head it off to Rogers, shifting across the 20 to the 23. That's good for 5 yards. Second down, 5 to go.
A good defense is really the best defense you have is a good offense. And at this point, for Aiken, it'd be nice if your offense just runs the football and has a long, steady drive down the field.
It's a great point, Geff.
Keep your defense off the field.
Because the Eagles were out there pretty quickly their first third-quarter possession, ending with an 80-yard touchdown. The defense went right back onto the field and looked tired last time Canyon Lake had the balls. Rogers is stopped at the 25-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 2 to go.
3rd down and 2. That's very doable for this offense. They have a lot of options. Well, now you see Rogers limping off.
Does not look right now. He comes out. E.J. Hernandez is back in. And on 3rd and short, Hernandez running, and the first down across the 30. Good block of the outside from Jason Martinez at the 31-yard line, and the Eagles keep the possession moving.
Yeah. I would be a little concerned about Rogers. I think he pulled it on that 80-yard touchdown run, and now he's just aggravated it again. And if it's a hamstring, you want to be careful with that.
Again, this is a non-district game.
Exactly.
The Hawks, or the Eagles rather, have their 14-6A schedule to think about. They open district next week against a good San Marcos football team. On first down, Cagle will throw. Intercepted! Inside the 25-yard line, down to the 21. Lee Stafford was right there in the passing lane. Don't know what Nick Cagle saw there on the throw.
I don't think he did see him because actually he had Jeremiah Brown open but he threw it to the under receiver, and Stafford was right there. He did a nice job reading the quarterback's eyes, breaking to the outside to the man in the flat, and intercepted the football.
Stafford's
first interception of the year. Sorry.
And now has the Hawks set up 1st and 10 at the Akins 20-yard line. So just when you thought that Akins was going to extend that drive, keep the defense on the sideline because they got the first down, on their 5th play of the drive, an interception. And just a second this year thrown by Cagle. And now a quarterback keeper for Fulton here on 1st down, hurdles by a fallen Eagle defender and dropped for a loss back to the 22. Slow to get up there for Akins on defense was Trip Ryan. Helped up to his feet, 2nd down and 12 to go.
Yeah, also Castillo that time, the middle linebacker. They did a nice job staying at home until they found where the ball was going. Again, Brant, a lot of misdirection in the backfield. Typically when that happens and the ball stays in the middle of the formation, you don't flow anywhere because the ball's not there. You wait until the ball shows. And that's what the linebackers did that time, and they were able to make the tackle.
On 2nd down and long, inside handoff, and inside the 15-yard line to the 14. The Hawks will now be faced with 3rd down and 4 to go. Carry for Joseph Ariz, his first this evening. As we are inside of 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And the Hawks, I get the feeling here, Geoff, if they score, this game might be out of reach for the Eagles.
It could be out of reach because their offense is a little bit hampered right now with Rodgers on the sidelines.
That, and whenever Candy Lake has the ball, if they're not scoring, they're going to be chewing up a lot of clock.
Yeah.
There's not much good middle ground if you're the Eagles defensively. 3rd down and 5. Running is Chacon, untouched into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight. Touchdown, Canyon Lake.
You can't draw up that play any better and execute it any better than what Canyon Lake, how they run that counter sweep. Well, if it's Chacon, if it's Ferris, they could put St. John or Ruiz back there. It would be the same result. It's like a machine. It looks beautiful.
Chacon with 4 rushing scores on the year, coming into the game tonight, leading the team 3 this evening, tying it with Tanner Ferris, who also has 3 touchdowns on the ground. And the Reds PAT makes it a 42-21 Hawks lead. With 1:31 to go in the 3rd quarter, this is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Introducing Hut Rewards from Pizza Hut. Finally, a rewards program that gives you points toward free pizza with every dollar you spend online. And get unlimited double rewards through October 1st. Don't settle for a piece of the pie. Join Hut Rewards today and earn free pizza faster. That's why no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The final score in last year's game between the Hawks and Eagles was 42-20 Canyon Lake. The score right now, 42-21 Canyon Lake. As we approach the end of the 3rd quarter, 91 seconds to go. And the Hawks, again, were once down 14-7, but they have not looked back since then.
No, they haven't. At the end of the 1st quarter, I thought this was going to be a heck of a game. They were going to go back and forth. But I tell you, at this point, Canyon Lakes did a nice job making adjustments defensively and doing what they do best offensively and execute, and they've taken control of this football game.
We said that the Eagles' margin for error was razor thin, and they committed a turnover interception thrown by Cagle, setting up the short field, the touchdown by Chacon moments later. Kickoff return won't even get to the 20-yard line. On the return there was Alpha Mara filling in for the banged-up Malcolm Rogers, who is stuffed at around the 17-yard line.
I want to call it, that's almost like a pooch kickoff when you kind of angle it and get it really high up in the air. And the objective is to get your kickoff team underneath it as much as possible, beat that first wave of blockers, because by the time the receiver actually gets the ball and has any momentum, he's going to have to move or run more laterally instead of up the field, and it's a good opportunity to make the tackle back in their territory, and that's exactly what happened this time.
They give Mara a couple more yards up to the 19-yard line. And the Eagles, a lot of work to do, down by 3 scores as we hit the end of the third quarter. And a running play is absolutely destroyed by Ross Snowden. Plowed through the blocks and makes a tackle back at the 15-yard line. E.J. Hernandez got lit up in the backfield.
Yeah. That's going to make the highlight reel. That hit right there was perfect. Either he came in untouched or he just totally beat the offensive tackle. But that was a great hit.
We've called Snowden's name a few times tonight. Good size, 6'2", 210. That makes a big play there. And now second down at 14 for the Eagles, under a minute to go, third quarter. Back to throw, Cagle. Protection holding up, rolls out to his right, takes off to run, and is escorted out of bounds by Parker Reno. Back at the original line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line to bring up third down and 10.
But that time again, Cagle just kind of running for his life. The pocket broke down. He had a nice pocket for the first couple seconds, but it broke down. So he's out there just scrambling, running for his life. And he actually had a couple receivers break open, but he was past the line of scrimmage and had to just commit to the run.
Again, 2 key defenders out tonight for Kenyon Lake, Jacob Ruff and Grayson Lee, but right now the defense not missing a beat. 3rd and 10, and Cagle will throw it. Pressured again. Gets out of a sack for a moment, rolls out, and throws the ball away. A flag is in way back in the secondary. Harwell, the one that took Cagle out of bounds as we check the marker.
It looks like defensive holding by Kenyon Lake.
It is.
Yeah.
This will keep the drive alive for the Eagles. Coach Drum not happy about the call.
Well, look, you know what, Brant? Let me ask you this.
All right.
You need 8 yards for first down.
Mm-hmm.
You need to establish time. You need to establish drive. Why are you running routes that are 30 and 40 yards down the field when you just need 8? And that's what happened
That's
that
a
last
great
time.
question.
And so when you're having a difficult time keeping the defense out of your quarterback's face,
Right.
make short, quick passes, quick slants. The middle of the field is wide open. They got away from what was working the first half, I think.
There's no such thing as a 21-point play.
No.
If you score from 80 yards out, it's still worth 6 points.
That's right.
1st and 10 now as we approach the end of the third quarter. After that penalty against the Hawks to keep this drive alive. And Cagle hands off to Rogers back into the game, but a nice run trying to shake off that injury. Doesn't look like himself, though. Is able to pick up about 7 yards there, second down and 3.
Yeah, Rogers had nothing up the middle, so he bounced it outside and did pick up enough. It's going to be close. I'm sorry, he's a yard or short.
And he's staying out there. Again, Akins, an offense scored on his first 2 possessions. Since then, a tough go of it as the Hawks defense is buckled up. Second down and 2 to go. From their own 37, and Cagle will head it off to Rogers here, looking for a hole. He's got enough of one to bust through for a first down to the 42-yard line. Nice game tonight for Rogers. 2 touchdown catches. The best runner tonight for the Eagles, and that the final third quarter play. And the Hawks are 12 minutes away from a 4-2 start of the 2017 season. Heading into the fourth quarter, Kenyon Lake 42, Akins 21. This is Kenyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
The all-new Nissan and New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan and New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
Austin Akins Eagles opened their 2017 season with a nice win over Austin Crockett, 44-26. Since then, losers of 3 straight and 12 minutes away from making that a 4-game slide. As we head to the fourth quarter, your score, Candy Lake 42 and the Eagles 21.
Well, they came down here to this beautiful Canyon Lake area and take on Canyon Lake Hawks, and I tell you what, they're a tough football team. They've played them before, and they know that they're a tough team, well coached. They're a well-disciplined team, and it's been one of those hard-fought nights again tonight.
That last third quarter play was a first down run by Rogers, and now first down for the Eagles at their own 43-yard line. Down 3 possessions. Long handoff to Rogers to his left, and Harwell finally brings him down at around the 47-yard line.
Well, that's that read option that Cagle and Rogers have been doing, but this time the defensive line did a nice job of holding their gaps. That's critical to this when you have a spread offense. The front four did a nice job for the Hawks and just holding their gaps and then moving with the flow of the play to make the tackle.
Rogers had a decent game against Canyon Lake a year ago, ran for 94 yards at a score, and a big playmaker so far tonight. Second down and 6, Rogers has his number called again. And nice second effort, lunging up to the 49-yard line to bring up third down and 4 to go.
Well, third down and 4, but I'll tell you what, Shepard had a shot at him in the backfield. But again, it takes more than one tackler to bring Rogers down. He's a tough little dude.
Hawks making some subs here on defense. Looking for a third down stop. They had issues getting stops on third down back in the first quarter, but since then pretty good there.
Looks like Rosa just came off. He looked like he's a little gassed.
3rd and 4. And Cagle operating out of the pistol. Rogers motions out of the backfield. Throw to him is incomplete. Right through his mitts. He had the block for a first down from Antonio Lopez. And now a decision here for Coach Garza of the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, they already tried to fake punt. That didn't work. So I think this time they're just going to have to punt it and flip the field position here and try to salvage something in the fourth quarter. Again, that play had potential. But Rogers, the one thing he looks like he's real tentative is catching the football. And that's the one thing he needs to probably work on because he's a heck of an athlete.
Here is Medell back to punt. And Lorette can return it from the 15 with a lot of room to the 30, cutting it inside, 40-yard line. He's still running, breaking a tackle inside the 45, out of bounds at the Eagles' 43-yard line.
That punt had no height to it, so actually the punter out-punted his coverage. So when Lorette actually was able to field the ball, he had a lot of real estate to make up before the first wave of Akins was even had a chance to tackle him. So, that time you got to have to say, hey, punter, you got to get up in the air a little bit. Give us a chance to get down the field.
They mark him out of the 47, not the 43-yard line. Hindsight's always 20/20, but
sure. If
you knew that was going to happen, then you would have gone for fourth down anyway. That punt yields all of 2 yards. On first down with the 47, it is a run to Chacon. Big night so far, and it continues. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line for another 14-yard gallop.
Well, it's the same play. They're going to keep running it, but I want to comment on St. John. He made a nice block on the end that really sprung him open. It really opens that gap way wide for Chacon.
Last week, Micah St. John got a bulk of the carries. Tonight, much more of a blocker, paving the way for Tanner Ferris and Tristan Chacon, each of them with 3 rushing touchdowns here against the Eagles. Under 10 minutes remaining in the game, all Canyon Lake on top, 42-21. A run to the outside by Ferris. And one of the few times tonight the Eagles have been able to bring him down for little to no gain. In fact, a loss back at the 35-yard line and bring up second down and 11.
Well, that's how you defend that kind of play. That was blown up by number 9, Chapa, the strong safety senior. He came up and actually caused the runner to bend back into the backfield. That's how you have to do it. Get penetration, blow up the play, and let the inside-out pursuit catch up, and that's how it was designed.
Very few plays, and I mean plays, made tonight by Akins' defense.
Yeah.
Again, the only true stop they had on defense this evening was because of the Hawks' own undoing, committing back-to-back penalties. And the Eagles jump all over the place. Don't see any flags here as the play is run to the 30-yard line. So no penalty markers. 3rd down and 5 to go.
I thought maybe the referee to our closest to us threw his flag, but he didn't.
And big number 79, Ernesto Rodriguez, who we thought jumped, comes off of the sideline. As we see Chance Martelli come into the game for the Hawks. Remember, he dropped a would-be touchdown earlier in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6. Fulton will throw. Got a receiver, and it is Ferris, the block from Martelli, and walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
Just a well-executed play where it's play-action pass, and the fullback slips out into the flat route. He's wide open, catches the pass, and just kind of almost just jogs into the end zone.
19th career touchdown pass for Benjamin Fulton. There is a flag thrown after the play, so the touchdown does hold. Penalties thrown to the end zone. And meanwhile for Ferris, what a night. 4 total touchdowns. By the way, he has 2 catches this year, both for scores, as the officials speak with Coach Drum.
I guess it might be unsportsmanlike after the touchdown.
And forcing the kickoff.
Yeah. Unsportsmanlike against.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they will enforce it now. And so a long PAT attempt here, potentially for Trent Lorette.
This makes it very interesting for this field goal. This is more like a field goal than an extra point.
Lorette's longest field goal this year is 29 yards. His PAT will come from about 35 yards out. Here's a snap to set down, line drive kick, and it is good. And it gives the Hawks a 49-21 lead. 8 minutes to go, 4th quarter. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Introducing Hut Rewards from Pizza Hut. Finally, a rewards program that gives you points toward free pizza with every dollar you spend online. And get unlimited double rewards through October 1st. Don't settle for a piece of the pie. Join Hut Rewards today and earn free pizza faster. That's why no one out-pizzas the Hut.
A full moon is out tonight here over Hawk Stadium. Canyon Lake playing well in the bright lights in their final non-district game on top 49-21. And again, once down, 14-7. Since then, about early first quarter rather, it's been all Canyon Lake. And moments ago, a touchdown pass, Ben Fulton to Tanner Ferris. A 4-touchdown night for the senior tailback.
You know, what do you do in this situation if you're Coach Drum? Do you let the other players play a little bit, get your starters out? You know, they could get hurt or something, or just give them some play time.
A 4A program, though, Geff, you don't have many players on the roster to begin with.
Well, yeah, you're a little bit of a depth issue, yeah.
And that deep kickoff fielded at about the 2 and taken on the return. And to about the 8-yard line, that's all for Rowan Sterling. So right now, all 3 phases, all Canyon Lake, looking very good. Offense, defense, special teams, and we were alluding to the depth, and again, you would think Akins would have a much larger advantage, a 6A program, much larger enrollment numbers to pull from. But maybe in terms of quantity, the Eagles have the Hawks there, but in quality, they're not on par with them right now.
I would agree with you. But it'd be nice to kind of get some of the second teamers in the defense at least to get some playing experience in this situation. I mean, now it's 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter in this football game. Get them out there. Get your seniors out of the game. Let the seniors who don't start, let them play a little bit. That's always nice.
Speaking of new players into the game, this is not Cagle taking a snap at quarterback. It is Jeremiah Brown. He will throw it, and it is caught by Lopez, the 15-yard line, for about 6 yards. Only the second completion this year for Jeremiah Brown. And a Hawks player is down right now. An injury stoppage with 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter. The Hawks on top by a bunch, 49-21.
Well, can't speculate who it is or what the situation is, but you hate to see anything like this happen right now in this type of game, in this situation.
And I'll tell you what, as we take a look at him, we will take a break again. Hawks on top, 49-21. This is Candy Lake Football on the Hawks Network.
Whether you're looking to build a new home, buy your first car, or follow your dream of being your own boss, let a neighbor help you. We understand your financial needs because we live and work here. Sage Capital Bank.
At Frost, we have the top-rated app in the banking category. Yet it's the half-star that's missing that has our attention. So we're always pushing, tweaking, and updating. Because even a little half-star will keep us up at night.
The fallen Hawk was junior safety Trent Lorette. Was able to walk to the sidelines underneath his own power, but out for the time being as the Eagles set up for second down and 3 at their own 18-yard line. Jeremiah Brown, the quarterback, trying to run for anything, but the Hawks deny him that chance. In fact, he'll lose some yards back to the 16-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 4 as we have 7:05 to go in the game, and the Hawks on their way to their second consecutive 4-2 start.
Well, that time, Jeremiah Brown just took the snap himself due to quarterback sweep, but the pursuit of defense caught him on the sidelines for no gain.
3rd down. It's a run for Brown, and he is able to muscle up for the first down to the 22-yard line. Harwell on the stop there for the Hawks. Thought for a moment that Candy Lake would keep him from getting the first down, but good second effort by Brown, and the drive continues. Hurry up offense for the Eagles. Brown looking to throw on first down. Pressured, throws, a low throw, incomplete for Lopez. 2nd and 10.
Well, I think Brown really wanted to run with the football. He had a lot of real estate. It was open for him, but Lopez became wide open. He tried to just toss it to him, and it wasn't very effective.
And now an Eagle player is down on his back out around the 19-yard line. Moments ago, again, we saw Trent Lorette for the Hawks go down. And now this player being looked at as the crowd comes to a hush. And again, we will step aside. 6:28 to go, fourth quarter, 49-21 Candy Lake. This is Candy Lake Football on the Hawks Network. Back out at Hawk Stadium after another injury stoppage. Justin Sanchez, the senior center for the Eagles, going down moments ago and helped by the training staff back at the sidelines after the injury timeout. 2nd and 10, Eagles at their own 23, down 49-21. 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Jeremiah Brown, a nice run here on 2nd down, out of bounds out around the 26 to bring up 3rd down and 5 to go.
Well, I guess they're just trying to get Jeremiah Brown the opportunity to do something magical with the football. Either he's going to keep it and run it, or he's going to try to find it, an open receiver, and pass it. Something different than Cagle, because I think they're going to make sure Cagle's going to be safe and ready for district play next week.
They'll mark it back on the other side of the 25-yard line, so not 3rd and 5, but it's 3rd and 7 for the 24. And Brown will keep it himself. Looking for a block to the outside. It's not there. And Brown has stood up at around the 29. Will bring up 4th down and likely a punt coming up here for the Eagles.
I don't know. Don't see the punt team coming out.
Not yet. Coach Gomez looking things over here before making the call, and the offense still out there right now. As we are now past the halfway point of the 4th quarter, and Coach Garza says, why not? Down 28, sitting at 1-3. See if you could pick up 4 yards. Running play for Rogers, and he's got the first down and more. Explodes inside of midfield. A foot race, and Rogers wins the race. His 3rd touchdown tonight. 71 yards for Malcolm Rogers. What a night for the senior tailback.
Well, he's a heck of an athlete. He is everything they've got on offense at this point. 4.6 in the 40-yard dash, Brant. I think he's running like 4.4 on that sidelines. I mean, he can hook it. I mean, impressive young man, actually. He's having a good night.
Rogers had an 80-yard touchdown reception back in the 3rd quarter, a touchdown catch in the 1st quarter as well, and now this 71-yard gallop into the end zone. Big night for Rogers. He's been really good all season long. A bright spot of what has been an otherwise tough season for the Eagles. PAT is good. And with 5:24 to go in the 4th quarter, it's Canyon Lake 49, Akins 28. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
It has been a game of big plays so far for both teams. The Hawks have made a few more than the Eagles have, but a tip of the cap to Malcolm Rogers of Austin Akins moments ago on 4th down and 4, a 71-yard touchdown run, his 3rd score tonight, and it is now a 49-28 Canyon Lake lead with 5:24 to go in the 4th quarter. And Ruben Cabo with an onside kick. Nice job by Canyon Lake special teams, and it is Lee Stafford, the heads-up play to jump onto the ball right around midfield.
Yeah, good heads-up play, because you would have thought they would have went ahead and just kicked it off deep. But no, Stafford did a nice job keeping his eye on the ball. Probably, I bet you one of the coaches probably told him, hey, you know what? They tried a fake punt earlier. I bet you they would do an onside kick, so just be aware of it.
And again, Canyon Lake special teams tonight has been very good as they take over from midfield. But again, next week, the beginning of 14-4A play for Canyon Lake. They'll take on Austin Eastside Memorial here at Hawk Stadium. And Memorial so far has struggled. They're 0-3 on the year. On first down is a run to Chacon. Up the middle, untouched again. Touchdown Canyon Lake, 50 yards out for Tristan Chacon. That Eagles defense is gassed right now.
22 personnel, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. That double wing set, they just hand it off to the wing in that little counter play. It's been open all night long.
It's as if Chacon and Tanner Ferris have a side bet tonight. Who's going to finish some more touchdowns? They each have 4 this evening. 8 Canyon Lake touchdowns, 4 for Tanner Ferris, and 4 for Tristan Chacon.
You know, Coach Drum's probably thinking, we're just going to run our base plays here, I guess.
PAT by Lorette is up and perfect. With 5:13 to go in this fourth quarter, Hawks back on top by 28 points, 56-28, and this is now a season-high in points scored for the Hawks. Previous high was 48 at Austin Reagan back in week. And how about that? Canyon Lake's best 2 offensive games this year coming against programs with higher enrollment numbers. Reagan was 5A, and these Eagles are 6A.
Well, you think there's higher enrollment numbers would be more bodies on the team, but we look across the field and Brant, I think there might be more players on Canyon Lake's team than on Akins' team. It's kind of sad, but maybe it's the state of the program at this point
Could
too.
Be. It's tough when you have a program like Akins, which has struggled so much over the years, 1 playoff appearance over the past 13 seasons for Akins. How many players grow up middle school, JV, and want to be a part of that? It's tough.
It is very tough, very tough. I'll tell you what, in this whole school district here in Comel, the tradition of having winning programs from Smithson Valley to New Braunfels to now you have Canyon Lake that's starting to catch it, a little bit of that spirit. This is a very tough and very exciting area of Upper San Antonio to be in.
This is the 10th season of Hawks football, the program at his first varsity team back in 2008. Well, over his first 9 years, 6 appearances in the postseason.
6 appearances?
Yeah.
Wow.
So 6 playoff trips in 9 years. Pretty good.
Well, we all know that
track record of success.
Yeah, the high school's fed by the junior highs. And honestly, when you have good programs in the junior high and the good junior high coaches, that's what feeds into these high school programs. That's what they're looking for.
And now handling the kicking duties for the Hawks is Josh Colgan. At a short pooch kick. And picked up by Sewell at the 25-yard line, or Sterling, beg your pardon. Rowan Sterling is still running, cutting it the opposite way, and finally dragged down shy of the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Snowden was out there. He made the tackle.
5:01 to go, fourth quarter, 56-28. Canyon Lake, a lot of big plays in this one tonight. But again, the Hawks have made the bigger ones. And moments ago, a 50-yard touchdown run by Tristan Chacon. And we were getting into the district schedule again. The Hawks open things up next week at home against Eastside Memorial. After that, at Bernie 2 weeks from tonight. And the Greyhounds coming into the game 5-0 when they're playing Wimberley.
It'll be a shootout.
And
It'll be a shootout. It's in Bernie, too.
That's correct. That game is in Bernie, and it is a game we'll have for you right here on the Hawks Network as well 2 weeks from tonight. First down for the Eagles at their own 34-yard line, down by 4 scores. Running play for Brown, the quarterback. Nice room to the outside. Nice run as well. Just shy of midfield, forced it out of bounds at around the 49-yard line.
Brent, this game is, if you're a wide receiver, quarterback, or particularly if you're a halfback or tailback, this is nothing but a stats game. You can improve your stats up and down the field playing this game. It's going to be interesting to see what these kids' stats are going to be after tonight.
The Hawks' third district game is at home against Fredericksburg, the home finale in week 9 of the season. First down run again for Brown in the zone read, and forced towards the sideline, and picks up another nice chunk of yardage inside the 40-yard line, out of bounds to the 39. Another Eagle first down.
Well, the first half they were able to throw to Brown, from Cagle to Brown, and then for the past 2.5 quarters, he's been rather silent. And so put him at quarterback. Let him do his thing. That time he did some shifty running around the end. It was all him, just dodging would-be tacklers, enough for a first down.
The Hawks, by the way, they don't get their bye week until week 10 and then play their final game of the season at Taylor to close out the 2017 regular season schedule. On first down, an odd-looking play here. Looked to be a play action at first, not carried out that well by Brown. And tackled the traffic at around the 38-yard line for a gain of a couple of yards. 4:29 to go in the game. Hawks on their way to a 4-2 start.
I think that was a little ab-living that time by Jeremiah Brown, because the reason why I say that, the off guard, Reese Joseph, number 62, pulled and was downfield blocking on a strong safety. So it was designed to go to the left. He just acted though it was going to the right.
Do note that Malcolm Rogers has not played on the series for the Eagles after scoring the 71-yard touchdown in the last possession. And here Brown is buried amongst a sea of green and gold at around the 38-yard line. To bring up 3rd down and long coming up, and Geoff earlier mentioned that maybe Nick Cagle done for the night. Want to make sure he's healthy for district play, and maybe the same right now for Malcolm Rogers.
I would think so. So you put Brown back there in the backfield and let him see what he's, what would happen if you're in that situation. You got to give him some reps.
Should be 4-down territory here for the Eagles on 3rd down and 9. E.J. Hernandez on the run to his left and backs his way to the 34 for about 5 yards. That'll make 4th down manageable as we hit the final 3:15 of the 4th quarter.
What are they going to run? Read option with Brown?
Well, that's been the entire drive so far. I've not seen a pass attempt yet for Brown on this series.
No. Well, he can't throw the ball to himself, so.
He does work with an empty backfield here on 4th down and 4. Looking to throw, spins out of his sack. He's in trouble, escapes it for the moment, loses the football. It is recovered by the Eagles, but it doesn't matter. Recovered shy of the 1st down sticks, and the Hawks get their 2nd turnover on downs tonight.
Well, when we opened up the game, we realized that both these offenses were explosive. They had a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball, so what defense was going to really make the difference in the game was pretty evident by the end of the 2nd quarter. That Canyon Lake, their Hawks defense was just a better defense, and that's been the difference in the ball game, giving their offense opportunity, field position, and stopping and slowing down Aiken and their offense.
Well, we mentioned Canyon Lake's upcoming district schedule. Look at the Eagles coming up again. They'll start 14-6A play next week at home against St. Marcus. Then after that, they play Austin Anderson, and that's a team, Geoff, that you saw earlier this year.
I did. I think there's more talent on this team, Aiken's team, than Austin Anderson's team.
On 1st down, new quarterback in for the Hawks.
Same play.
A run up the middle. Stopped it around the 40-yard line. On the carry there was Ethan Slater. The quarterback, by the way, Nick Rivera now for Canyon Lake. But you look at the rest of that district. So there's San Marcos and Anderson, yes, and the Rattlers very good. The Trojans maybe not as good. Del Valley's been much improved this year. Bowie is one of the best teams in Austin. And then the Eagles close the year on the road at Manor. It might be tough to find another win on the schedule for the Eagles.
Really? I was going to ask you, from your experience, what do you think that their potential might be?
Another win might be tough. Playoffs definitely going to be very difficult for the Eagles to manage. On the 2nd down run here, and that's Slater again the carry. A late flag. The defender came in late, applied the late hit. They'll call Patrick Callahan for that penalty. And the Hawks will have a 1st down as we are inside of 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And Canyon Lake on top, 56-28.
Yep, personal foul. Personal foul. There's been a lot of penalties tonight. I thought it'd be cleaner.
Go back, by the way, to halftime. It was only a 7-point game.
No.
21-14 Hawks to break, but Canyon Lake's offense has not been stopped in the 2nd half.
Brant, you alluded to earlier that that's almost like the motive or the style that Canyon Lake, that the Hawks, they start slow and then they make adjustments and they just explode. Every game.
We saw it last week, down 21-7 early, won the game, 35-21 at Lampasas. Conversely, Geoff, the game you saw here 2 weeks ago, the Hawks jump on top of Wimberley 13-0, but then the Texans took over.
Then they took over and won at the end of the game. That was a heck of a ball game.
On the run is Allman, his 4th carry tonight to the 35-yard line. The plays in this game winding down, maybe about 2 more left before we can put a bow on this one.
1:10 to go here in the game.
I think the fans got their money's worth with as many points that they put on the board. And
the
big plays that we've seen, incredible pass, catch, touchdowns, screens, runs. I think the fans definitely got their money's worth.
And again, the Hawk fans can see Canyon Lake play here again next Friday. And they should be favored to win that game by quite a bit, playing Austin Eastside Memorial. Running play to the left, and only a yard or 2 is there. On the carry that time for the Hawks was Nick McCormick. Looking at the play clock, the Hawks won't have to run another play.
And just take it, Neil.
And that'll do it. That was the final play of the game, and Canyon Lake is finished with non-district play impressively. They will take a 2-game winning streak into 14-4A play following a dominating 56-28 win over the Austin Akins Eagles. Post-game coverage coming up. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Geff, tonight, Canyon Lake's offense and really defensively as well after the second quarter, there's too much for the Eagles to overcome.
It really was. They looked like they just all of a sudden woke up. They made some defensive adjustments, obviously. They started bird dogging Cagle. They shut him down, got penetration, got in his face, disrupted his timing, and really took the pass option away from Akins' offense. When you can't throw the ball, then it doesn't set up the run very well. So they were able to do that. And then you look over here to Canyon Lake. They did a really nice job of just settling down, running their offense, executing perfectively on the line of scrimmage, and then delegating the football amongst 3 or 4 different running backs. They all had a piece of the action.
All right, Geff, good working with you tonight.
It's a pleasure working with the voice of the Bobcats tonight.
And tonight, the voice of the Canyon Lake Hawks. Again, great game tonight. The Hawks a winner 56-28, and that will do it for our coverage here from Hawk Stadium. Again, we'll have more Canyon Lake football coming up. Here in a few weeks, Canyon Lake will be on the road to take on the Bernie Greyhounds 2 weeks from tonight, and we'll have live coverage here for you right here on HawksNetwork.com. On behalf of Geff Gandy, I'm Brant Freeman and our entire Hawks Network crew. The final score again, Canyon Lake 56, Austin Akins 28. From Hawk Stadium, good night.